Hi, I'm Jayansh. Welcome to my YouTube channel Bookie. Now today I'll be starting the second chapter of the Bookie series or of the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Now the second chapter's name is also The Richest Man in Babylon. Before I start, here's a quick disclaimer. Now let's do a quick recap. Now that we've seen the disclaimer. So in the last chapter we find that the chariot maker Bansil and his friend Kobe the musician are facing a midlife crisis where they evaluate their lives so far and see that even after working so hard they simply struggle for their financial existence, where they even have to lend to each other at times. After this moment of enlightenment and or enlightenment simply of enlightenment and acknowledgement, they finally take a step towards solving this problem, and along with their other friends they go to Arkad. Now who's Arkad? Arkad is the richest man in Babylon, who once studied with them to ask for his advice on wealth creation and getting rich. Recap now. So here's the index or the page of contents. In the last chapter, or not in the last chapter, the last chapter that we completed was chapter number 1. It was the man who desired gold. Now we will move on to the second chapter, which is the richest man in Babylon. In ancient Babylon, there lived a very known, rich man named Arkad. He was known around the world for his great wealth and was also very famous for his liberality, or liberality as some of us may pronounce. He was generous in his charities, and he was very generous with his family too. He was liberal in the way he spent, right? He was liberal in his own expenses, but even then, every year his wealth increased more rapidly or quickly than he spent it. This is something that I think we all want to learn. Then one day, his friends of younger days came to him and said, "You, Arkad, are more fortunate than we are. You became the richest man in Babylon while we struggle for bare existence. You can clothe yourself in the finest fibers and dine on the rarest foods, whereas we have to clothe our families in simple cloth that is but presentable and feed them the best we can." But as youths, we were once equals, right? We learnt under the same master or teacher, played in the same games, and neither in games nor studies were you any better than us. And after all these years, you are no more an honorable citizen than we are, right? And as we can, as much as we can judge, or as much as we can judge, uh, you have not worked any harder or faithfully than all of us. Why then should luck single you out to enjoy these pleasures of life and ignore us, equally worthy, deserving men? Then spoke Arkad. If you have not earned anything more than bare existence all these years, then either you fail to learn the laws that govern wealth creation, or simply you haven't observed them. Fickle fate or luck is this vicious goddess which brings no permanent good to anyone. Moreover, unearned money only brings ruin to people showered by luck. She makes spenders who just want to spend just for the sake of spending, who soon lose all their money and are left with huge appetites and desires they cannot fulfill anymore. On the other hand, there's the bunch of cheapskates who just hoard their money, they keep it together, scared to spend it because they know they don't have the ability to replace it by earning, doomed to a lifetime of emptiness and misery due to their fear of thieves and robbers. Others there may be who take unearned gold and add to it to become, prosperous and happy citizens. But of such I know them by and know that they're very few in number. Please think and tell me of any such examples you may know. All friends admitted that of the men they knew had inherited wealth, all of a sudden these facts were true, and so they asked him to explain how had he become possessed with such wealth. He said that as a youngster, I looked around me and I saw all the good things that brought happiness and contentment. I soon realized that wealth increased the influence of all of these. It increased the most of the things are possible. One may decorate their home with the richest of furnishings. One may travel the world, one may dine on foods of far lands, one may buy the ornaments from stone polisher and goldsmith, one may even build huge temples, for gods. One may do all these things that bring satisfaction and gratification for the soul. When I realized all this, I decided that I would have my share of things in life. I would not be one of those who watch others with jealousy. I will not be one who is satisfied with the rough clothing that is presentable. Overall, I will not be satisfied with the lot of the poor man. I will make myself a guest at this buffet of good things in life. As you all know, I was the son of a humble merchant, one with a large family and no chance of any inheritance. Also, I didn't have any advantage of some special wisdom or powers. So, to achieve what I desired, I decided time and study is required. Time is one thing that all of us men have in abundance. Yet, so many of you have let it pass, you know, instead of using that time to create your own. As we were told by our master or by our teacher, there are two things that we learn. One thing that we learn in the school and one thing we learn in the outside world. So I went on and I decided to learn of wealth creation to build upon my dream. I decided soon I found a job as a scribe in the town hall or in the city hall. So I found work as a scribe in the hall of records and I started earning. Building upon my dreams, said Arkad. But all of the income that I earned mostly went to food, clothing, shelter, and into parenting the boys. But I was still trying, I was still working hard. One day, the moneylender Algamish came to the Hall of Records and told me that if I copied down uh, two clay tablets of the ninth law for him in 2 days, he would give me two copies. He was left unsatisfied because I hadn't completed them. Frankly speaking, the ninth laws were a bit too long, and that's why it took time. If I had been a slave, I am sure Alchemist would have beaten me. But thankfully, I know that the city master wouldn't allow that. And so I was unafraid. And I asked him, Alchemist, will you teach me the secret to your wealth if I stay up all night and complete these two tablets and give them to you by tomorrow's sunrise? Will that be fine? The old man. All through the night I carved, even though my back pained and the smell of the wick that was burning made my head ache until my eyes could finally give up. And when he returned at the sunrise, the tablets were complete. Now I said, tell me what you promised. The old man said, you have fulfilled your part of the bargain. Now it is my turn. I am telling you these things that you wish to know because I am an old man and whenever asked for advice, I love to give. There are times when youth thinks that age knows only the wisdom of the days that are gone or of the previous days. But remember, son, that the sun that shines today is the sun that shone when your father was born and will be shining until your last grandchild will pass into darkness. Which means some experiences remain the same, some lessons remain the same throughout time eternal. They're like very bright lights that shine forth, that go back and forward like meteors, because they're not really stable, right? But the wisdom of age is like the fixed stars, on which we can depend, on which sailors can depend to navigate. And he finally said that might mark my words, son, but because if you don't, if you fail to grasp the truth that I tell you, you will think that your night's work has gone away in vain, and I don't want to do things so. Then he looked at me shrewdly and said to me in a low and forceful tone, I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all that I earn was mine to keep, and so will you. Pierced me, but said no more. It looked through me, it looked past me. Is that all? I asked. That, he said, was sufficient to change the heart of a sheep herder, the one who herded the sheep, in to change it into the heart of a money lender. But then all I earn is mine to keep, is it not? I asked. Far from it, he replied. Do you not, pay the garment maker who makes the clothes? Do you not pay the sandal maker who makes your sandals? Do you not pay for the things you eat? Can you live in baby long without spending? What have you to show for yourself? For the earnings for past month? What have you done for the past year? Fool, you have paid everyone else. You have worked. You labor for others. You may as well be a slave and work for what your master gives you to eat and wear. If you keep for yourself 1/10 of what you still earn, how much would you have in 10 years? Right. It would be as much as I earned in a year. Every gold piece that you save is a slave for you. Every copper it earns is a child that can work for you. That can earn for you. So if you would become wealthy, then what you save you must earn. And its children must earn. So if you earn something, you save, and then that saving should earn, and those savings, that bring more money, or that is the children, they must also earn. And all that will help you to give the abundance you crave. Think of that for a moment. Let us take the time to process it. Pay yourself, he said. Save 1/10 of everything that you earn. One copper after, out of every 10 coppers that you earn, and keep it for yourself. Pay yourself 1/10 of all that you earn. Then pay the sandal maker, the garment maker, and the grocery lender. All of these. But first, pay yourself. All that you earn. Out of all that you earn, a part of yours is a part of yours to keep. Wealth, it grows from a tiny seed. It grows like a tree. Even if when you start small, you can go and create your huge tree of wealth and abundance. fine. Thought, just fine. Now, after the 12th month, he came back. Back and asked, saved. He asked. I gave it to Asmod the brickmaker. Parsis, Parsis, and entire he would buy for me rare jewels from Phoenicians, and when he returns, uh, we shall sell these at high prices and divide the earnings. He said. Maker about jewels. Maker to inquire about the stars? No. By my tunic or by my mind, you would obviously inquire and go and ask an astrologer. Your savings are gone. But you can try again. Next time, if you want to have advice about jewels, go. There is that we must not trust expertise. Give you their on things. For the Phoenicians were scoundrels or simply morons and sold to us more fake, which were believed to be real. Saving up again, and so he did. Okay. I have been given to Augur bronze with it and gives me the rental or the interest on it. I said, earn, what do you do with the earnings? He said, I dine on honey and wine and whatnot and all those great foods, and I have bought myself a good tunic, silk tunic, and will soon buy myself. Earnings. How is it that you can grow your wealth? Yes, he came back again, but this time he was a little too old. Arkad. Arkad said, I'm doing fine. The kind of wealth I want, but I have earning and that keeps earning more, so soon I will. do you think of brick makers? Asked Alchemist in a sarcastic or a funny tone. To this, Arkad answered that brick makers give good advice about bricks, as another sarcastic answer. So obviously they were having their fun about the time, about the last time where um, Arkad trusted Asmol, the brick maker, on buying jewels. Alchemist said that you have learned your lessons well, my son. Uh, it is time, I think, that I can give you a position of authority. I have this set of estate in Nipur. Of spending, and they don't think of earning. So I'll be happy to make you a partner in the estate. He increased the values of the properties of Algamish, and one day you can see he went to the other side. That is, he passed on his share. But he said that you were indeed, fortunate that Algamish made you hard. It was the kind of, it was this determination that I had, that I wanted to wealth so strongly and so badly, that it led me to it. No, this was not fickle fate. This was hard work. And it is very it can you should be appreciated for the kind of willing power that you had, Arkad. Willpower? What nonsense! There is nothing such as willpower. When you want something too bad, you'll do anything to make it happen. So willpower or anything. What do we actually get out of this chapter? You know, the most minimum amount is 1/10. That is 10%. If you can, if you can afford to save more, do that. But at least save 1/10 of what you can, and then use that amount not for just for expenditure or spending. Use it for investment, uh, and invest it by by taking the advice of someone who's had their expertise in their particular sector. For example, when you talk about insurance, ask someone who has been in the insurance sector. When you talk about things like mutual funds, ask someone who's been in a bank. Things like these. Ask someone who has been a jeweler that what kind of gold should I buy for higher return. Things like these. Uh, Not only that, that when you get the returns, on interest or whatever from that particular investment, you need to reinvest it. Children of your savings, savings, but of your earnings that you're having from savings. eat the children, you let them multiply. Use that savings to further invest further, and finally for it. This is an ongoing process that will go on, and someday you will reach your target. So I say start practicing today, because the day I start running, I'm going to do that. I hope you like the video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day, and please share this video to everyone. Everyone, why? Because it is very necessary that we understand that wealth creation is not about luck. It's not about hard work also. Because we know that we work hard, but then what do we lack at? We lack at this. We don't pay ourselves. So from now and from today, it is my request to all of you, my humble request to all of you, to make sure that whatever you earn, you keep one tenth for yourself. Pay yourself first. Prioritize yourself, because you've earned it, you've labored over it. Thank you. Have a nice day again. Thanks for watching.